What is SpeakerPost? It's a bridge that connects academia and industry. It's for folks who are either faculty or folks who are from the corporate world who want to give back.
Meet Dr. Komal Shah Kapoor, serial entrepreneur and founder and CEO of SpeakerPost. She's here to share with us that purpose is the strategy to building, and that trusting your inner voice is the ultimate power move. Dr. Kapoor, I would like to do the very Asian thing of listing all of your achievements. Maybe this is probably not even all of your achievements. It's just a sort of surface level, what I could, find initially prior to our interview. I want to share with you all of the amazing and incredible things that you have done. You are a researcher, you are a writer, published in Forbes, by the way. You are a business owner, a professor, and how I know you as a tech founder, in addition to a wife and a mom, not in addition, but these are incredible roles that you certainly hold. And I really look at you and your career as the most amazing merger of culture, care, wellness, connection. And you do this all on a global scale. And so for that, I just want to thank you on behalf of Courage Class again for your time, your expertise, and your wisdom and your heart. So thank you. I'd love to start off with the first question. Dr. Kapoor, when you think about building meaningful human-centered innovation in a world that, as we well know, shaped by technology, what role do you believe purpose plays in all of this? And how did service become the foundation of your own incredible body of work?
I think purpose is everything.
Yeah.
You should be leading with purpose,
Yeah.
right? For me, purpose is almost like a lived experience. So I came to this country in 2001, and I came as an international student from India. And I landed at Wayne State University in Michigan, where I did my master's and my PhD.
Wow.
And the faculty there was just like amazing. They were supportive, they were kind. So I graduated, and unlike most folks who are in academia, I wanted to move into industry. I wanted to go to New York. I had these big dreams. I wanted to work in media and marketing in New York. And guess what? I didn't know anybody in New York, and I didn't know anybody who had made that shift from academia to industry in my field. So it was intimidating, right? And then I found this one person, and he just guided me a little bit. And I think because of that, I was a little less lost. So I guess I didn't have the language for it at that time, but now I know that I was between these two worlds, right?
Yeah.
The world of industry and the world of academia, between two different cultures. Came from India, Indian culture, American culture, two different cities. Detroit, New York City, very different, two different cultures.
Yeah.
And more importantly, just between what I had trained to be, an academic, and where my heart was in industry. So there was a lot of this tension going on, right? And so for me, service is that foundation, because it was that one person, that human connection that helped me navigate when I was really, really lost. And so that's kind of how I think about it.
What an incredible story. I had no idea that you trained as an academic, you had big dreams of moving into industry. And Dr. Kapoor, I think that you speak so eloquently to the way in which so many of at least our community, in Courage Class and the Asian community in general, the way that they navigate tension, the same tension that you speak of. You talk about academia and also your heart being in industry, but you have this training as an academic, also navigating two different cultures. For the listeners who really want to build a life or a career rooted in purpose in the way that you have done, what shift becomes possible when they start seeing service not necessarily as just giving back, but as a strategy for growth?
I think you definitely, if you're trying to put a business together, you definitely want a strategy. And having service as that growth strategy.
Mm.
I think it's valuable, it's
Okay.
helpful.
Yes.
So I mean, honestly, when you frame service as just giving back, right? It's lovely, but it's like it's nice to have.
Mm.
It's symbolic,
Yes.
right? But when you frame it as a strategy to grow your business, I think, for me, like the way I look at it, it's all about building relationships, right? That's what service is. It's all about building relationships.
Yes.
It's all about finding meaning in
Yes.
work
Yes.
and meaning in life, right?
Yes.
And so when you're helping people, what are you doing? You are extending outside of your little bubble,
Mm.
right? And what happens when you do that? You you help someone, and maybe at some point that same person helps you, right?
Mm.
And that's how you're building that community
Yes.
on that symbiotic relationship, right?
Yes. Yes.
And when you do that as a community, then you grow,
Yes.
right?
It's
So that's,
almost, sorry, go
yeah,
ahead.
go on. Yeah,
I was going to say it's almost like service is it's a force multiplier for you when I hear you talk about that. When you
exactly.
extend yourself, when you create connection, when you start building your community, that's going to come back to you in some way, shape, or form.
It always does.
It
It always
always
does.
does.
Yeah.
And that's so, I feel that so much so in, well, we're going to get into SpeakerPost, but that is my personal experience inside of the platform that you have beautifully brought to us. I'm curious to know, how did you even find the courage to say, you know what, I'm going to go out to New York City. I'm going to pursue this career. I'm going to use service as sort of the foundational strategy and see where this goes. I mean, there's a lot of unknown
Mhm.
inside of what you just described. What were those early experiences that shaped that decision to just go and do?
Yeah, so when I was at when I was in New York, I started this company called Cook Auntie, and it was basically also service based,
Yes.
not so much rooted in purpose, but definitely rooted in meaning
Mm,
and in finding ways to finding a pain point and finding a solution to that pain point.
yes.
And so just connecting people to make that happen. So
Mm,
for Cook Auntie, which got very popular when it was in New York City, it was like the front runner to Blue Apron and
yes.
Chef and all of these places. My doctoral work told me that food is the last thing to go in immigrant communities. And, we
Mm,
always go, language might go, right? Dress, all of that might go, but food stays. And
mm.
so, based on that insight, I created this company, and I connected chefs with people looking for chefs,
Oh,
And so, I think community and connection and just taking that blind leap based on some level of strategy was always
yes.
there.
Yes.
And with SpeakerPost, I think the way it kind of worked was when I moved to Los Angeles. I had spent 10 years in New York prior to that, working in media and marketing. But when I moved to Los Angeles, I wanted to try out, academia.
Mm,
And so I said, like anybody else would, right? I
yes.
decided I'm gonna go like try teaching in different places. So Cal State Dominguez Hill, special program at UCLA Extension, online programs, Pepperdine, where I still teach now. You
Mm,
know, I spent time like learning, and across campuses, I saw that there was this one pattern, right? Students really wanted to hear from folks in the field.
ah,
They wanted to know what it is to like day in the life of an engineer, day in the life of a publicist, day in the life of an advertising person. And, that's what I heard. I
yeah.
also heard that when I spoke with professionals, I've yet to meet a professional, Lindsay, who would say, "Oh, I don't want to come to your class to share
Yeah.
my experience." Never, never,
Yeah.
right? And they would do it for free.
Yeah.
And when I
Yeah.
spoke with educators, my own colleagues, they were all brilliant, great theoretical understanding, and everyone thinking, okay, how do I add variety to my classroom? How do I make it fun? How do I bring in somebody who can talk about what I'm teaching? But the problem was professionals did not know anybody in the academic world. Academic world did not know anybody in the professional world. Nobody
Yes.
wanted to do cold calling.
Yes.
And so I saw a gap. I saw a gap. And once I saw that gap, I just could not unsee it.
Yes.
So I said, okay, we can bridge this.
Mm.
And because I had done this in the past with Cook Auntie, I just, I said, I'm the one who's going to fix this gap. And then that's it. And
Yeah.
once that was in my mind, then I just had to execute it.
Yeah, no, it's incredible. It's incredible. I've been on the sidelines watching SpeakerPost's growth for the last couple of years, and it's so incredible the way that you have grown that platform. And Dr. Kapoor, I remember where we had met, one of the first things you shared was that you had self-funded SpeakerPost. Could you share with us the internal conversation that you had with yourself that helped you to take that leap?
I'm not a techie, so I had to learn a lot. I was just a girl, I think, on a mission with, dare I say, a vision,
Yes.
So,
No, you
yeah.
should. You should say that. Declare that as yours. Dr. Kapoor, it's yours.
Well, honestly, the truth is, if you believe in the idea, why
Okay.
wait to get somebody else to validate
Oh,
it, right?
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
that's really, that's an opportunity cost.
Yeah.
And I wasn't willing to wait. So I think I would say, yeah, I mean, you just got to really believe in the idea and have that passion.
Hmm.
But with that, I will say, if somebody like, wants to do something like this, right, have a job on the side,
Okay.
have a job, at least have a full, if part-time job, if not a full-time job,
Okay.
have a job on the side. I'm still working on other things, because I want to keep this platform alive. I'm still working on other things,
Yeah.
and I'm bringing the money in so I can support it. So
Yes.
that's really important, number one. For me, I think completely out of privilege, right? My husband also has a job, a stable job,
Hmm.
and so I never felt financially, just pressured.
Okay. Yep.
But with all that support, there's always fear. There's fear of being judged.
Mm.
There's fear of someone saying, "Oh, she had cook auntie. What happened to that? I mean, this was a new thing. Did that fail?" Like all of these conversations are going on.
Yes.
I'm not hearing it, but I'm feeling it, right? I'm sure people are kind of talking about that.
Hmm.
I'm spending all this time and money. Am I wasting my time? Is it going to be worth it? All of those things, right? So that's there. But if you're aligned with your mission and your
Mm.
purpose, you should just go for it. That's what I
Yes.
did, and that's why SpeakerPost exists.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Could I ask you a follow-up question? I'm
Go
curious to know,
for it.
you just spoke about the conversations that were going on in your head. We talk a lot about sort of managing your mind and, just like questioning the narrative. And you are someone who is such an example, again, of just the courage, go out, do it. You believe in it. It's your mission. It's your passion, and you executed.
Yeah.
How do you manage what's going on up here? What if it's in contrast to the amazingness that SpeakerPost is and can be?
Well, I think honestly, for me, I speak to the alignment or in my head, right? Are you willing to take a risk and fail? Or you're not, are you willing to not, or you don't want to do it at all? And you don't want to do it at all because you don't know where it's going to go.
Yeah.
But where is your heart? I mean, is it a life worth living if
Yes.
you are, if you're not aligned with your mission,
Mm.
with your purpose?
Yes.
And so for me, that's a very easy answer. And then here's the other thing, right? Sometimes you figure stuff out as you are doing it. As women, we tend to do that too, right?
Yes.
We come up with an answer after like just talking about with multiple people. That's how we come up with an answer,
Yeah.
right? And so for me, even my work is like that, that I am doing what I learn by doing,
Mm.
and I figure the path out as I try and test and, just go on that journey.
So you didn't necessarily, so you were learning bits and pieces and parts of the process as you were building the technology. And
Yeah.
I feel like that's so important for, to your point, especially maybe women to hear that it doesn't have to be the perfect plan. It doesn't have to be the perfect branding, the perfect this, the perfect platform,
Yeah.
that there is room, there is space to make mistakes, to learn and to grow. And it sounds like that is very much part of the process.
Absolutely. I mean, think about it. I'm not
Yeah.
even a techie. I just came up with this wireframe and I said, let's do it. And then when I did it, I said, wait, it's all broken. Like, this is not how you do it. So I actually, in the middle of SpeakerPost being built, I took a project management class, 48 hours of instruction, learning the critical path on how IT works. So I didn't know I need to do that, but if I had to do this well, I had to learn how that critical path works with developers. It was all tech, which I had zero understanding of.
Yeah.
I just wanted to create something that was meaningful, right?
Yeah.
And that was the only thing in my mind when I started.
I see. And is that what gets you through the difficult moments too? It's just this conviction of, I know that this is what the world needs. I have the data, I have the conversations.
Yeah.
Is that what gets you through those difficult moments? Okay.
That's the drive. I mean, it's purpose.
It's
It's
purpose.
purpose. How am
Yeah.
I going to really touch the lives? I want to leave my mark on the world, right? I feel
Mm-hmm.
like as I've gotten older, I've started to realize it's less about, oh, I did this, I had all this fun stuff, and more about meaning.
Yeah.
All the stuff I'm doing, how it, is that a good life? Is that a life well lived?
Yes.
Will I leave my mark on the world? And I think I'm moving away from just happiness and joy to meaning.
Mm-hmm. Mm, that's
Yeah,
beautiful.
yeah.
That's really beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Dr. Kapoor, you have mentioned, so you had started to talk about SpeakerPost, but I would love to give it its official airtime. And I wonder, for those of us who are listening and they're hearing about SpeakerPost for the first time, what specific problem were you trying to solve? And how does the platform create connection in a way traditional systems, frankly, have not?
Yeah. So honestly, if I had to really simplify it, there are these two worlds,
Hmm.
academia, industry. And these guys are not talking with each other,
Yes.
okay? As much as they should. They are, but not as much as they should.
Mhm.
Well, who is suffering in this whole process? It's the students,
Students. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Students want to meet people from different fields, want to learn about different careers, right? And we can do a better job, industry and academia, if we just come together and we talk. So, what is SpeakerPost? It's a bridge that connects academia and industry.
Mm-hmm.
It's not for students, it's for folks who are either faculty or folks who want to, often the corporate world, who want to give back in
Yes.
some ways,
Yes.
right? And so, yeah, if a professor needs a guest speaker, they can post their need on the platform. And if a professional feels like they can help, they can raise their hand by just clicking a button. And then these two people can talk to each other and find ways to help students.
Yes. And does the guest speaker have to necessarily live in the same city? It can be.
No, it was a product of COVID. We started around
Yeah.
COVID.
Yeah.
So absolutely, anyone anywhere in the world who wants to find a way to touch a student's life,
Yeah.
and has the experience and the expertise to do it, and the willingness, right,
Yes.
can do it. So it's a global platform, with you can do virtual Zoom. You
Yes.
can do it you can even do a one-on-one mentorship. It doesn't always have to be a guest speaking gig. It could be even like judging a student competition. It could be
Mm.
so many different ways that you can bring your expertise into a classroom and help a group of students succeed.
Yeah, I was just on the platform this morning and there was so much chatter around, opportunity, 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 opportunity. And then there's like person added, person added, person added, person added. Like there was so much going on the platform.
Yeah.
And as you well know, I'm a former professor and teacher. I have used SpeakerPost myself in my own classroom, and it amazes me that I've had folks from India, from the East Coast, from NorCal, from Canada. I've had folks come in and Zoom into my classroom in real time, or a recording if it had to be a recording.
Yeah.
So if there's any testimony I can give about SpeakerPost and the impact that it has had in my own personal career and work,
Yeah.
it's amazing.
Mhm.
I wonder, Dr. Kapoor, if you would be willing to share a moment or story that best captures the impact SpeakerPost has had either on a student, educator, or professional. And I'm sure there are countless ones.
Oh,
I
yeah.
just shared
There are, I
my own.
know.
Yeah.
I've used it for my own classes as well. So it's not just you, right?
Yeah.
It's just wonderful
Mm.
that we are able to build these connections and have this community,
Yes.
make this happen for the kids. Well, there are many, many moments, Lindsay, right?
Mhm.
But the big one that continues to be is the one that we did in Vietnam, actually. And there was a SpeakerPost member who is a professor at Van Lang University in Vietnam, and she was trying to put together a speaker series of six speakers who could see her online, and she had a translator and everything for the students. There are 1,400 students, by the way. That was the crazy number. 1,400 students for every speaker, with a translator. All of these people speaking about communication, PR, advertising in America, and so it was a cross-cultural exchange of some
Wow.
kind. And I heard back from a lot of the SpeakerPost members who had a chance to go speak there. They said it was virtual, but it was fantastic. It was like really, really rewarding. Some of the professionals spoke there. Some of our educators spoke there as well, because
Mm.
a lot of the educators are experts, right? So
Yes.
I think that was one for the books. I mean, I will remember it for a long time. That was wonderful. In professionally too, there was somebody who spoke there and said she put that on her
Or like
EB
speaker
one,
reel. Oh, okay.
no, EB1, like for to get a green card. And
Oh,
she said, she's done multiple of these on SpeakerPost and put that on her EB1 application, and that's how she got her citizenship.
oh
So,
my
or
goodness.
a green card or something. So that was, I
Yeah.
mean, I thought that was great, it was so
That's
meaningful.
incredible.
Yeah, but the little ones I think for me are the most important. For example, I brought in a real estate public relations expert into the classroom, and I had students who said, "Wait, you could do that?" I said, "Yeah." "Well, I don't have to do celebrity PR if I could do that." And I said, "Yes, you can." And so before you knew it, they had an internship in the real
Oh
estate
my goodness.
PR firm, and now
Wow.
they are working there. So I feel like when I see little things like that, those are moments I live for. I love that.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible. I just got chills when you were saying that. I mean, the impact that it has on the professional and the professor is already incredible, but the fact that you can actually open up a horizon like that for a student, I just think is so magical.
Yes, it is.
It's
Yeah.
so magical. And there's so much connection, there's so much collaboration embedded into this platform. And I'm curious to know, I would love to hear your thoughts. AI, automation, it feels like it just dominates the feed these days. I'm curious to know from you as a technology founder of what I feel just very fundamentally is prefaced on human connection. Why do you believe that human connection is the competitive advantage that technology can never replicate rather?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I think human connection is everything,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
when you talk to students, yeah, I mean, you question answer, yeah, that Chat GPT can do, right?
Totally.
But Chat GPT does not bring in context. It
Mm.
does not bring in honesty, right? So when a guest speaker walks into the classroom, they talk about their failures. I wish I would
Mm.
have done this better. I wish I knew that. Oh, this was such a bad idea, but I didn't think of it at that time, but I think of it now. These are the skills you need? Yeah, okay, that's something ChatGPT can provide,
Mm.
but um, you know, I have this Excel skill, but why it's not working at this point because ChatGPT is doing this and that. And these conversations, this honesty of failure, of success, of journey, the process,
Yeah.
technology cannot provide.
Yeah.
So I think, SpeakerPost is all about that human connection. And,
Absolutely.
it can't be any other way just
Yeah.
because we are bringing a real person into the mix.
Absolutely. I never thought about that. That's so true, though, because you're right. Honesty around failure, around personal experience, that is something that a robot just cannot
No.
ever speak to. And there's so much learning and connection that happens just when someone is vulnerable and can talk about, for example, a failure. I'm curious to know. So, even as our world becomes increasingly digital, would
Okay.
you be willing to share from your perspective, again, as a technology founder of a company that is prefaced on human connection, what skills or habits help us to stay grounded and, frankly, human?
Yeah, we could do a deeper
Yeah.
dive. I
Yeah.
think listening is important, right? I
Mm.
think listening is something that I think it's a skill. We what do they say? We learn to respond, not learn to listen or something, right? So I think
Yes.
we inherently don't listen, and so I think that is a good skill
Mhm.
to have. The other thing is authenticity, right? Being authentic and, like you said, vulnerable.
Yeah.
You know, I even see that even in social media. I think 2026, we're seeing a trend where even the creators who are getting the kind of traction that they are the ones who are being more authentic.
Mm.
So we're not chasing perfection,
Ah,
right? We're being honest and authentic. And I think even within a tech platform, you want to kind of get there where people are honest and authentic and
yes.
not all perfect, right?
Yes. Yes.
Um, so that's the other thing. And then I also feel, in general, sometimes we promise people something and then we don't deliver on it.
Mm.
And I see that with, you know, um, professionals who say they're going to be there and sometimes, because of whatever reason,
Mm.
are not there.
Mm.
But we should all try to be there for each other, especially for the students. And so I think
Absolutely.
those are some of the things that come to mind almost immediately.
Yeah, no, those are powerful, powerful skills. And I agree with you. I think that so much vulnerability, authenticity, so much can be learned in just face to face or even virtual
Yeah.
conversation. Dr. Kapoor, if we could shift actually to strategy, you mentioned strategy earlier, and
Uh-huh.
I'm curious to know from you, how has focusing on community and mission, how has that attracted partnerships, users?
So I started building community when I was in New Jersey.
Mm,
This was not Kukanti. There was another thing called Edgewater Life, and our city at that point was in flames. And I had this platform up. We had a huge fire, and this community came together, right?
mm,
Just came together to help out all of those people in the fire. And I built that community. I mean, it's more than 10,000 people in that community even today. It exists.
wow.
Yeah, and that's when I realized the power of community,
Mm,
right? And so for SpeakerPost, obviously I led with community because that's what I knew, right?
yes.
But for SpeakerPost, this community is built on trust. Okay.
Mm,
I honestly don't spend any time or money on marketing. I just post
yeah.
something here and there on LinkedIn, but
Yeah.
it's built on trust. Professors who brought in guest speakers from this platform tell their colleagues about the
Yeah.
platform. Corporate folks who come into classrooms talk about that on LinkedIn, and then people see that and then they join.
Yeah.
And so for me, that's really just been the way it's been.
Yeah.
It's organic growth.
Yeah. No, it really has. And, even when you talk about partnerships or collaboration between industry folks with professors, I think that it really is the trust. There's so many testimonials
Yeah,
also on the platform. If you go just to speakerpost.com right now, you can see the way in which people have leveraged the platform to build their own community, to build their own connection. And that, if there was no trust between these entities, between these people who have never met with one another before,
yeah. Hmm.
there's no way that SpeakerPost could have grown in the way that it has, because
Yeah.
you're right, it's so much of it is built on the trust and the collaboration and the communication between all folks involved. I'm curious to know, so if we want to do this, Dr.
Yeah.
Kapoor, for the educator, parent, corporate leader, or the aspiring founder who is listening, do you have any recommendations or advice? What is one simple or immediate way that we can begin bringing service and connection into our own work if we're not directly involved with speaker posts on a day to day?
Yeah.
How do we do that? How do we achieve that?
I think it's really simple.
Yeah.
1 hour in your entire life, in your entire year, right?
Okay.
Not life. 1 hour in your entire year,
Mm.
right, is all you need. One conversation with a student will change the way they think about their careers.
Oh,
One conversation.
yeah.
You don't have to be on speaker post. Find a time to talk to one child. Just touch one life.
Mm,
Even that's going to have multiple effects, right?
yes.
Touch one life, talk to them, one person, 1 hour in the entire year. That's all you need to do. Start there.
Yes, absolutely. Like, and isn't it true that you can have such a huge impact in a single like 30-minute coffee? But we never stop to think about that.
It's crazy. We make all these lofty goals. I'm going to do this and
Yeah.
that, and we don't end up doing any of it. Just
Yeah.
baby steps. 1 hour
Yeah.
is all we need,
Yeah.
right? You can be on SpeakerPost. It's easy to join. It's free to join. You can just go in, you can create your account and do it that way. You can reach out to a professor on the platform and say, I want to spend an hour. If I have this specialty. If you have a group project, I'd love to just come in, like, sit in and
Yeah.
then give my feedback,
Yeah.
and that's, or not,
Yeah.
it could be just chatting with a kid who is curious about your career,
Yeah.
right? That's all you need. But it can have such a big impact.
So, Dr. Kapoor, as we wrap up this conversation, would you be willing to share the one lesson that you wish you could hand to your younger self when you first started Speaker Post?
Sure. Trust that voice in your heart.
Oh,
I think that's what I would say. Trust that voice in your heart, because it's speaking to you. It's telling you to do something, and there's everything around you that is just shadowing that,
mm,
right? Some of that is fear. Some of that is like uncertainty. Some of that is like diffidence.
yeah. Yeah.
But listen to that voice, and if that voice tells you that you are meant for service, you are meant for purpose, you are meant to do something bigger than you, right? Then follow that instinct.
Mm,
I think for me, it took a long time to get
okay.
there, because even since I was young, it was always about, I want to do something. I want to touch the lives of so many people, the whole world. How do I do it? How do I do it? I always had that inside
Mm,
of me. But, I went to school and I went about my everyday life. And until I got to Los Angeles, I really couldn't, put it in practice. But I had that voice and I paid attention to it. If I were younger and if I wanted to start earlier, I would have paid attention to it
I
a
see.
little bit earlier on. But I think when you listen to that voice and you put things in motion, even
Mm,
if you're not 100% sure of where this is going to go, right? Well, how are you going to monetize it? Just put it in motion. Let's get it to go,
yeah.
start that process, and things will just stack up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's so powerful. And there's a lot of us who are listening to this who are mid-career. And I take actually personally, selfishly, great comfort in the words that you are sharing right now. The fact that you said that it took you some time to listen to that voice. What I hear from you is that it's never, ever too late to honor and listen to that voice. And it's okay
Yeah.
if it takes time.
Yeah.
Um,
And it's
it's,
okay if things fail, and
mm,
I'm in the startup world. Things fail, right? But would
yeah.
you would you like rather not attend something,
Mm,
or would you just tell yourself, yeah, I that voice is still there, I'm gonna find my way, but clarity will come with that movement.
clarity will come with that movement. Yes.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah. I'm curious to know, Dr. Kapoor, what's next for you and Speaker Post? And what are you feeling most hopeful about as you look toward the future?
Yeah, so I feel like I'm in a thoughtful phase at this point when it
Okay.
comes to SpeakerPost.
Mm,
So, community built,
yes.
right? Trust built,
Hmm.
lives touched. That's good. That's good. It's a great start. And now I feel it's time to monetize. So,
Hmm.
I want to monetize, but I'm in this kind of conundrum because I don't want to change the heart of the idea, right?
Mm,
It was always a passion project. I always want to keep all of this stuff free. I don't want to charge for that.
yeah.
So, how do I monetize something when the heart of the business is on, you know, giving back,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so I am at this point thinking about, how best to monetize, maybe bring in professional guest speakers, maybe expand the platform, maybe add a membership layer to it.
Mm,
So I'm in that process, thinking through it, working with my developer to make something like that actually happen
yeah,
without changing the heart of the platform. Because
I
I
see.
mean, people who are on the platform are there for the same reason I created the platform.
Mm, mhm.
Um, I don't want to, change that
Yes.
very nature. So that's the process I'm in at this point.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. And it's what actually it's wonderful to hear that you can be mission driven, you can have purpose, you can have heart,
Hmm.
and you can support your family through
Yeah,
your endeavor. And
yeah,
I think that that's such an important point, Dr. Kapoor, that you're sharing with us. I'm excited for the next iteration of SpeakerPost. My final question for you is, how would you define courage?
for me, courage wasn't about creating speaker post. Courage was
Mm,
listening to my voice in there that said mission and purpose,
yeah.
and choosing that over approval, right? People who would say, oh, this is not a good idea. How can you start a business without thinking of monetization? This is not going to work. It's going to fail, right? Okay, you don't approve. Take away all that negative energy, focus inward, focus on positive energy, and focus on mission and purpose.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way I know how to live.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for that. You are the true embodiment of purpose, service, work. And for that, we are so grateful. We are so grateful for your time. Thank you,
Yeah.
Dr. Kapoor.